Ka Dorbar Synrai jong yang Dorbar tawan ke jela ke basong biang ha kesengi nengkong hadu kesengi kot kata ha kesengi palagi jong katayo. Kala saki ya shibun ke jingya tainya ki ba khluit bat kumjuru ke jingi pen ibor padang gidkhot kaliang pyrshah bat gidkhot kaliang sensyar. Ha bayatai ki mat bapher kenthop ya kamat bayadai bat ke jing kenok khayi be anyu doyong kamat bayadai bat kesong suk song san ya ke jela bat kumjuru kamat bayadai bat ke jing e jigi pat ba na kerukom lum bai boarding electric jong ka Meghalaya Energy Corporation Limited nalor kiwe. Kathma ktian bat kejingit tiat miet apedang kidikot ke yang Dorbar kelami haborok sausni jong ke Dorbar Synrai bat kelas sedang na kejingit tai ya kamat bedai bat kajing kenok khayi be anyu doyong kabalami aka kenta keli jing keli ha kesni ke benengkong. Kani kathma ktian kelami apedang UMLA ke Kongres narang sakwana Zenit M Sangma bat menteri rang ba kejelau Konrad Kongkal Sangma halor kejing keli bedai ba doyong balai pu arlak metric ton. Haba jubahab ke jingkeli Konrad Kongkal Sangma ula batai kendiat ke history halor udoyong balai pu arlak metric ton henre Zenit M Sangma ula dawa ba menteri rang ba udai ban ai bet ke jubahab bat dei ban kran kelannya ke jubahab namar ke jingai penthot ke jing jubahab menteri rang ba ke jela ulong ba Zenit M Sangma pat long ubreu ba i ke jing mojing berkat bat seiru ke jing keno ba de ke seng kongres ke ba penmi udoyong balai pu arlak metric ton ha kesnam arajar katsan. Konrad Kongkal Sangma ula penbena hagani kesngi bagi Sorkar kala penbena ban aino ada kejing siau basan hajar tengkai kinu gibriu ki ba ai kejing tip ak baidai bat kejing ti ba jing khai be anyu udoyong kenang bantek lakam ya kene kakam bomman kajing yata ya kene kamat klane jan cikenta namar kejing sim benta jong ki babon ki MLA ban bo jing keli ke Sorkar watla lamang ba ka kenta keli jing keli ki babon ki mat kan long thek tang cikenta.
The member cannot keep disturbing me, sir.
Just to correct his reply, he's contradicting the reply, his own reply only. As the first he said 1.3 crore. Now he is saying 1.4 crore, which is to be accepted. He is contradicting his reply.
Okay, can you just clarify?
We can see from the record, sir.
Right. Yeah.
Initially he said 1.3 crore metric ton. Now he is saying 1.4 crore. He is chief minister.
So this amount was declared that time in 2015 only. So it's not something that we have created now. So from 2014-15, when honorable member also was a minister in the government, that is when this particular coal already was declared. So therefore, if he is questioning whether this coal is there or not, he should have questioned it that time, sir, when he was in the government. This was done back in 2014-15. So therefore, I think it's...
Speaker, sir.
Sir, he's again disturbing,
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Sir, does he want to reply or no?
Honorable Chief Minister is...
Sir, this is not correct. This is not done, sir.
I am asking about the...
I did not disturb him when he is asking questions. He should not disturb when I am replying.
At 32 lakhs.
Please, you are a senior member. Understand how you should deal with the situation. So this is not done,
sir. I am asking about the 32
You cannot disturb, sir.
This government has declared as inventory before the Supreme Court on the 3rd July. Specific question.
Ka Dorbar Synrai hagani kesni ke benengkong kale tairu ikamat bedai bat ke jingyap jong kilong kemi ba armet bat ki kelung barang sukha ke balawan ra du MLA ka Kongres namau Senram uba Himalaya Moktan Changpleng ha ka short duration discussion habawan ra ikene kamat uni udkhot kaliang pyrshah ula pentep bahan rupu ingut kilong kemi ki ba armet bat praspa nyopu nyungut ki kelung kila klat ha kini ki sau benai na kadau ke jing bamyo jing tia bat ke jing bambiang kila jing sumar namar ke jing plet jing mut jong ke Sorkar banya khon ka klam COVID-19 Henry haba ay ke jubab menteri rang ba ke jela ula pentep batang hapdang uyayong kesenam arajar arpau hado unaitung kajingyap jengkilong keme ba armet kalong shisha henrupu wengot bat ki kelong pat kalong praspa san kundaingut ulong bagane ka kam kadai ke bahab banshim khya bah bat namar kane ke Sorkar kelawan ra ke program bekerpang melatip kum ka mada app program ya ke balapen non kam diki core technology ban kemi bat ban pikir ya ka kot ka khya jengkilong keme ba armet habaro ki distrik ke jela
that due to the corona pandemic, many government programs like immunization, regular prenatal and postnatal examination scams have taken a backseat. So examples of these two districts are sufficient to confirm to the total figure of 877 infant deaths and 61 maternal deaths in just 4 months all over the state. We cannot afford to be just mere spectators of such tragedies happening in front of our eyes.
And so we will see that as we move along in this project, that we will look at the mother's health not just when she's giving delivery, but as soon as she gets pregnant. Not just when she gets pregnant, but even before that, to plan out the spacing of the pregnancy. And we realize that can only be done if we make the women in the rural areas more economically engaged in different activities. If we are able to provide in a very safe manner different kind of birth control. So these are the issues that we're dealing with. So when we look at just the number of deaths that's taking place in maternal death, I think we're looking at the last point, which is really not fair. We need to see the entire spectrum of activities and interventions need to be made at every step along the way. And that, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, is the only way to address this issue in the long run. And this mother app is what is going to allow us to do that.
Hagasngi balang kaliang persya kelawan ra no confidence motion ban penpau ya kejing bamsanya asyo ikurukom trekam jangko Sorkar jela habakeno baka Sorkar belayalam dengan National People's Party kala pulam lot abarok kiliang hakejing trekam jangka ban pet ka bahakamiat jangkinong songsinong kejela. Ya kene no confidence motion lawan ra dunong yalam kaliang persya u Dr. Mukul M Sangma bat kidkhot kaliang persya kila kersan teli kene gamat haba penpau baka jela kala sakhi ya kapor ke basneu tam hak history jangka namar kipat ba Syum layo satya ke bagi kimi linti bat kermen nagani ke Sorkar. Unong yalam kaliang persya abawan ra ke kamat ula keno bak Sorkar jela kala kersum haki babun ki kam bamsap dan luti ke jela. Nadu ke jing pentrekam ke skim saubhagya jang ketnat boarding ke jela kajing ti bajing kayi bean udoyong bat kibe-kibe. Haba jubab ikani menteri rang ba kejela uloong bagi ni jing keno kide kebam dan nongrem satya bat ula pensyairu bagi jing kayi udoyong kebayat menta kade tang ya Umar ubala syakurup bagi bor kaan bat lapen kayi ru yu da kebobot renti ya ki kendon an. Hadian bo Konrad Kongkal Sangma ula dak banjubab nakaliang u Dr. Mukul M Sangma ula penpau ke jinglong bakloi ban wengno ya no confidence motion. Lada u menteri rang ba ukular macam kia hakabayde bat udoyong ba iwei point sau iwei lak metric ton overdan hakli rangna sangpung haga district West Genta Hills. Henry namar ba umshim layo ya ke jingkular ke basyai nakaliang u Dr. Mukul M Sangma ula yang scam halor ke motion. Kumta ulam phang ke yang Dorbar thawan ke jela ba amet ba lengdo ula sengap ekasur jong ki dekhot ke Dorbar. Henry hababun ki dekhot ke liang sensyar ki persya ajur ke motion kumta ula penbena ba ke no confidence motion kala sya remno.
The Honorable LO has been mentioning that we should all realize that what is happening and we should go for this motion. So on the contrary, I will say that you should realize now that how much this government is doing and all of you from there also should support this government for the work that we're doing. They have said that we have failed. They said we had failed. If we have failed, sir, then how come there is no abduction of civilians from 210 during that time to 0 today? 0. How come, sir, if we have failed, how did we manage to lift the ban on coal, which they could not do for the past 4 years during that time? If we have failed, then how come the COVID numbers are the lowest in the country today in our state? If we have failed, then how come we have started the assembly project, which they could not do for the past 20 years? If we have failed, how come we are investing 1,300 crores in education? If we have failed, how did we get to 1,700 crores for PMGSY? Sir, if we have failed, how are these 40 MLAs supporting this government today, sir? I ask. If we have failed, they are supporting us today, sir. And if we have failed, sir, why did the Public Affairs Index of 2020 rank us as the second best governed state in the country today, sir? So therefore, using big words and connecting dots that could be from this angle to that angle and creating your own story for it doesn't make any sense, sir. Let us look at the facts. Let us see what is there on the ground. Let us see and accept. Let us accept it, sir.
Since the mover has not withdrawn his motion, now I will put the motion to the board of the House. The question is that the no confidence be passed. Those who are in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Those who are against, say no. No. I think the noes have it, and the no confidence motion is lost.
Ka Sorkar jela kala pentip hak yang Dorbar Tauan bahkan sesedang pentrai kamno ya ke I kupen na kebentaki kena ki banado khat lai snem hado khat prasnem kerta bakin yo ekalat banit pentebet ekasap kapong bakidon. Ya ke nila pentip do menteri rang ba ke jela Konrad Kongkal Sangma ha bajubab ekano confidence motion balawan ra da kaliang pyrshah. Katkum ke jing ong jung u ke Sorkar kan penlut si hajar kelur tengka ha kabakan ai mar si hajar manla ubenai kini ki kena bakin pendon kam ha ka jing pentebet ekasap bakidon. Ula pentip bagi Sorkar kan tungru si hajar ngot ki service provider ban ai jing kai kerpang ki kena ke jela ha ki bobon ki liang kanang bikin la ban yo kam yo jam.
We will ensure that every youth is allowed to follow their hobby and their passion. How will we do that? I'll take 2 minutes to explain, sir. We intend to give 6 months coupon for a sport that you might like to train in, and a 6-month coupon for a skill that you might want to train in. So there'll be a skill coupon and there'll be a hobby coupon. And you'll be allowed to train for 6 months under these 2 programs. 1 month, 1 month, 1 month. And we will roughly give about 1,000 rupees per coupon in this. So 12 months program divided into 2 parts. And this will be targeted for children who are between the age of 13 to 16 or 18. The idea being that any period of time between 13 and 18, you can avail these coupons. You can take these 6 coupons and you can start learning music. Now, I know that I think half this room knows how to sing, and half, maybe at least 30% of this room can play a music instrument. But can you actually read music? You can't read music. It's just natural for us. But imagine if I can start reading music. Maybe I'll be able to upskill that talent of mine and be able to take it to a new level. So why can't we have a 6 months training program where we will be able to train this youth who's into music? And if I can learn music in 6 months, which is possible to read music, I think it'll help me in the future. It'll upscale the talent that we have. Now, how do we plan to do this is also very important, sir. So similarly, we'll have the same thing for skill. I may want to learn a skill of making a mask or stitching a mask. I may want to go for a skill of repairing the mobile phone. Any skill, but every youth must have a skill. This will be the policy that we're going to come up with. And every youth must follow their passion for 6 months. Football, well, we'll train you football. So this is first part of the policy. The second part of the policy is there will be service providers who will train these youth. Now, how does this work, sir? This works because these coupons of 1,000 is not going to go to some outsider. It's going to go to a service provider here in Meghalaya. So the youth between the age of 25-35 will become these service providers. We expect that we'll have 1,000 of these service providers certified by us. And these service providers could be a footballer. He will come and he will take a certificate that he is allowed to now give training for football. These youth who want to learn football can then go to this service provider, give the coupon to him or her, and then train football for 6 months, and we will pay that service provider. This serves 2 purposes. One, it takes care of the youth between 13 and 18 who will be given the skill and allowed to follow their passion and hobby, and it will create employment for about 10,000 people who will become service providers, and this money will go to them. We expect anything between 30 to 50 crores will be invested in this, but this will go a long way in ensuring that we direct the energy of the youth in the right direction. And I think this program, will be one of the first in the country. I don't think any other state has it. And we have really studied the models in different parts of the world to come out with this very unique and innovative model. And we'll be discussing this with the Government of India for also financial support. So this youth policy will have these kind of interventions in it, and it will also connect these different dots of entrepreneurship, health, counseling, because we want to ensure that these counseling centers are there in every district, in every block, and colleges and universities. We also want to ensure that the service providers are all over the state, not just in Shillong or Tura. We'll try to ensure that there will be at least 5-6 of them in all the districts that are there, and if possible, we'll go down to the block level. It has to start in a phase-wise manner. It cannot just simply happen, but this is the prospect and the idea that we're moving forward with.
MLA ke BJP ubasan borsulai habe shembanta hakano confidence motion ulong bule kendo ikinong krong ke badan haka constituency jong war ula shem bakini kinong krong kem jushut beniat kem jusum jusle ne kem jusat ki kti ne dang ki mas bat ki thia harut surok ulong habala kli ki la ki tiang ne em ya ka covid-19 kini kilong namar badan ublay. Ulong ba prabnai menchua ulasem ba udan udawai ubanyada na kajingpang COVID-19 bat kata kadai tang ublay. Bat ulong ba simladan weiru unong krong ubanyap na kajingpang COVID-19 bat ulakentu ya barok kidikot gayang Dorbar banya bu hagijing duwai.
During that meeting, the expert from the health department, including district administration, they said that you have to follow. Yes, you follow. You have to wash your hand frequently. You have to take bath every day. You have to brush. You have to put a mask to maintain social distance. Very strange to bring it to the information of the house. When I went to interact with these beggars who are homeless, they don't take bath for years together. They don't brush for years together. And the police magistrate also, they don't give them any restriction without masks, without, they're sleeping in the veranda, they're sleeping everywhere. They eat rotten food from the dustbin from anywhere. But when I went to interact with them, let me see in Kasi, Pimting, Pendat Mas, Kyong Em Juting, nomor ba, don't boleh. That is the vaccine of God. So you will not find in the record of the health department or the district administration that even one beggar died out of COVID disease. Because we are having a vaccine of God.
MLA ke Kongres na umroy uba George bilang doa akan ke Dorbar Synrai ulawan ra ekamat datai halor ke jinglong jengman jo ke jingkiang duar ksoj bat ke jingkiang damsait kaba ulakran habayatai ke no confidence motion bat kumjo ka call attention motion uneu MLA ulong ba ke jingshong senjor jo ke jingkiang duar ksoj ke daitang namar ke jingyat jo kitrok baket palat pot udoyong bat namar kani ke jingkiang keladon ha ke jingma yu pat ba bayat bayeng Uang ba kejengkang banyat mentasipor na gani kejengkiang kala bopat kejengma saya kejengkiang damsait kabala bantua ha kanu kopor. Menteri rang ba kejala ulah pentip ba Sorkar kala betha iki board district ke MECL katenat mining bat ki pulet bakin petngor bat telakam ya kejengyat jengki kali baket palat pot na gini kejengkiang. Kumjuru usembut menteri rang ba kejala ulah pentip ba National Highway Authority of India kan sasnano ada kejengkiang nar ba sipor hadwar ksud ban penyat biang ya kali he na gani kesurok.
To the plying of overloaded trucks which are coming from Saulat right up to Umiam Dam. Because in between we have three bridges. One is at Demthring, one is at Maulai, another one somewhere there. Because if these bridges are damaged and they are old bridges, we'll be having a big problem. So overloading should be stopped. I don't know if they're illegal trucks or they're legal, that's not the point. The point is overloading will break the infrastructure which we require the most at the moment.
So having said that, sir, there were some points that were mentioned regarding the Umiam Lake and the dam that is there and the concerns over it. So let me assure the House that both the MECL as well as the mining department and the district administration and the police are watching over this entire aspect, and we will ensure that whatever movement takes place is done within a safety procedure and within safety level, which is what has been instructed to the MECL, and only on the basis of that are any movements being allowed. It has happened in the past. It's not that it's something new that's happening, but I think I take the suggestions given by the members positively. We must be careful, and I can assure the House that we will be careful about this aspect, sir.
Hagani kesni kejingatainya ke Khluit Tar kalaja hapadeng UMLA ke Gambegre ubadan hakal yang sensar usaleng sangma bad UMLA ke Kongres narang sakona uzanet sangma kabala poi ke jingetit miet bad kejing penan kamru de kiktian ke bakhor ke yang Dorbar kani kejingetit miet bad kejing kran ke kiktian ke bakhor kalami na UMLA ke Gambegre habaytai halor ke songsuk songsan ke bami na kejing kran halor ke no confidence motion. Namar ba kejingatai kala poi uput uba Khluit Tar usumbut lampang ba peniat ke Dorbar ulah tuklar hino bantem ya kani kejingatainya. Kam hadiah ne kani ulampang ke Dorbar uba met ba lengdo ulah penmena bai kejingatai jong ki arut kit khot ke yeng on weng no na kejingbo jingtho jong ke yeng Dorbar.
Better situation.
Sangma, Saling Sangma, please sit down.
We can see the record, sir. He has mentioned that we are living peacefully. We are living peacefully. Have you been a victim?
Please, sir.
He is unparliamentary
Please be silent.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir.
Honorable member, please sit down. No, please sit down. Please sit down.
Don't talk to me, talk to the chair.
Please sit down.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir.
Please.